Okay, welcome. Whether you are here joining me live or catching the recording, I'm so honored to be leading this meditation for the Feast for the Soul. It's such a beautiful practice, and it's so amazing to think of all the people around the world that are meditating with us simultaneously or participating in the feast from all the corners. Um, it's really such an honor, and I appreciate so much being invited to be on the faculty. I have been for a number of years, and it's one of the things I love best about my practice and my teaching. So, thank you for joining me, those of you who are here live, and welcome to those catching the recording. So, this class, I'll start with a mindful moment so that we can sort of drop into that space where we're really settled and ready to practice. I'll share some thoughts before we go deeper into practice. And once we are practicing, we'll be sitting for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'll guide you, we'll do a little bit of a body scan. And then we're going to do a self inquiry practice, a little bit of that today. And we'll be sitting 20 to 25 minutes. There will be silence. There will be silence as I guide. I'll break in a time or two. But I really believe that part of this practice of deepening the practice is to be comfortable sitting in silence. It's really where we meet ourselves. And then I'll close with a reading, and I hope that it will be inspirational for you. Today is Valentine's Day, obviously, and it is fraught with so much nonsense, I will say. And often, when you're not all coupled up, it can be a really challenging day for some. And what I would like to invite us to do today is really explore the primary love relationship that we have in our lives. And that is, of course, with ourselves. Um, whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you love your animal, love a partner, love children, love nature, there are lots of ways to feel love, to express love, and to understand that we are, in fact, love, the essence of love. Some people thinking of the divine as love, calling it love, calling that force, that life force, that energetic flow, love. But I really want to talk today about that connection to the deepest part of who we are. So we'll be spending some of that, some of my conversation, I will gear toward that and inviting you to sort of listen deeply once you're in that place that opens up uh, some of the place below the ego so that we can really hear with our hearts. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. All right. So, starting with that mindful moment, I'm inviting you to get comfortable in your seat, whatever that looks like or feels like. And you can have your screen on or off, doesn't matter. And settling in, maybe you're sitting in a familiar seat, maybe not. Wherever you're sitting, just start to feel the body supported by the seat beneath you, by maybe cushions behind you. If you're like me and you're sitting on a cushion on the floor, you might feel the thighs and the knees and the feet. If you're sitting in a chair, kind of noticing that connection to the feet on the floor, to the earth supporting you. When it feels comfortable for you, you can close the eyes or gently gaze downward at your hands in your lap, whatever feels better. And beginning to take a few long, slow, deep breaths in and out of the nose. Really feeling the breath move in the body. And starting to notice the sounds, maybe subtle sounds in the body, sounds in the room, maybe sounds in the house and distant sounds outside. Noticing too that you can discern between the closer sounds and the distant sounds. There is the one who can discern. Who is that one? The essence of who you are. And noticing the temperature on your skin, the warmth or coolness of the air. Maybe noticing the places where the clothes are touching the skin and where the skin is free to feel that temperature. Getting a sense of the space that you're in, noticing your environment, even with the eyes closed. There is an awareness there. That awareness can be vast, even beyond the boundaries of the body. And then turning that awareness, that attention inward and coming to find the breath moving. Maybe noticing what happens as the body breathes. You may notice the rise and fall of the chest or the belly as you breathe in and out. You may become aware of the subtle sensations of fullness on the inhale and emptiness on the exhale as you breathe in and out. And noticing too how just by paying attention to the body breathing, the body does begin to settle down. The mind may want to follow, but there's lots going on in there. So if you can imagine parking what's most pressing just outside the space you're in, maybe it will be there when we're finished, maybe not, maybe it will come around again. That's what the mind does. But for now, bringing your attention to our time together, setting your intention to be as present as you can be, knowing you're giving yourself this great gift of self-care. Really arriving here in this space, arriving here in this seat, arriving here in this body, arriving here in this moment. We've never been in this moment before. And taking another deep breath in and out of the nose, really enjoying the ease of the exhale. And if you like, you can leave your eyes closed as I share a few thoughts or open them, whatever works for you. So often we have a hard time loving ourselves. And when we try to distill that down and figure out why, we might look to things that happened in our childhood or things that happened from people that we cared about saying things, noticing that we're not good at something when others are. And what happens is we get these messages and we begin to tell ourselves a story. And those stories become very powerful. So powerful, in fact, that we often forget that we once heard them and learned them, and we forget that we're holding on to them. So, mindfulness, this practice, gives us the opportunity to notice that there is a thinker there, that we are not our thoughts. And mindfulness and meditation give us this radical idea that we could actually not believe every thought that we have. Imagine not believing every thought that you have. Imagine being able to love yourself and appreciate yourself. Wouldn't that seem natural? And yet we hold on to the stories of not enoughness, we're not talented, we're not tall enough or thin enough, or whatever are those messages that we got. And then they become, in some way, our truth, our reality. We hear ourselves telling ourselves, well, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving of love. So it is really an imperative for us to start to notice what are the stories we tell ourselves. Brene Brown says, noticing what is the story I'm telling myself, and then to question and ask the question, would someone who knows me well draw the same conclusion? Likely not. I remember getting the message when I was growing up. I remember my sister was tall and thin, and I was the opposite. And at one point, my mom saying, Anne, you can have one Oreo. Lisa, you could have two. And that really stayed with me. It informed everything about my thoughts about my body. And so we really have to dissect and look at what are our thoughts? What are the stories we are telling ourselves? Because we don't love a flower that has more petals than another flower, or we don't not like a flower because one of their petals is irregular, right? We love the flowers. We don't ask them to be anything that they're not. So why, in fact, do we do that for ourselves? This is our greatest relationship. This is our most important love, is to love ourselves, to accept ourselves as we are in this moment. So really looking at the stories we tell ourselves and maybe deciding today, right here, right now, is the day that you will no longer believe some of those stories. And imagine how you would feel letting those go and believing that you are beautiful and perfect within all your imperfections, that the soul of who you are is meant to be loved and honored and appreciated because it comes from that light, that love that we all are created from, that we all will go back to. So, this is the invitation today to really understand this deep love of who we are and allow ourselves to let go and be fully present to our magnificence. So if your eyes are not closed, I'll invite you to close them now, settling in and settling down, taking just a few of those deeper breaths in and out of the nose, knowing that you're safe and grounded, present, ready to practice. And as you listen to the sound of the chime, you can now let your breath return to its natural depth and rhythm. No need to control it anymore. Your breath knows just how to take care of you. Welcoming the sounds, welcoming the temperature, welcoming whatever is arising internally, externally, resisting nothing, holding everything in an attitude of kind attention, inviting some relaxation to the body, head to toe, softening the scalp, unfurrowing the brow, allowing the face to be soft and easy, no expression needed. Checking in with the jaw, seeing if you might need to unclench just a little. allowing the tongue to rest comfortably in the mouth. Softening the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Noticing the spine, the posture, upright and relaxed with a sense of dignity. Softening the front body from the top of the chest on down through the diaphragm. Letting the belly be soft and easy like a great big Buddha belly. Softening the right arm from the shoulder on down through the elbow, all the way to the fingertips. And the left arm softening, letting go of any tension, shoulder to fingertips. Settling the attention now in the pelvis, maybe noticing it sinking a bit deeper into the seat beneath you. Feeling the earth, the floor, the cushions all rising up to support you and hold you in your practice. Noticing the whole body sitting here, the space the body takes up, the places where the body connects to support behind you and beneath you. Feeling the weight of the body grounding you here, now, to this space, to this moment in time. Softening the right leg from the hip on down through the knee, all the way to the toes. And the left leg softening, letting go of any tension, hip to toes. Scanning the body, making sure you're as comfortable as can be. If there's any place calling for some ease or comfort, you can just bring the attention there to soften. It's okay to shift or move if you need to as you sit, and sitting still as you can. And now turning the attention inward, coming to notice any tingling or pulsing, any sensations in the body. You might notice that most in the fingertips, in the toes. Might not notice anything at all, that's okay too, but that subtle movement of energy is your aliveness. We're alive in our bodies, we rarely notice. There is a presence that calls this body home. It is the perfect eternal nature of who you are. With that inward gaze, becoming aware of the awareness, becoming aware of the one who hears my voice. Maybe noticing the thinker of the thoughts, the one who is looking through your eyes. Noticing too, whatever is arising in this internal realm, there may be thoughts, emotions, sensations, just allowing that all to be there, bringing some spaciousness, holding everything in an attitude of kind attention, letting all of that fade toward the background as you bring your attention now to the breath in the foreground, finding the breath wherever it's most obvious for you. That might be at the tip of the nose, noticing the cool air coming in through the nostrils, leaving a bit warmer above the upper lip. For you, you might notice the breath most in the rise and fall of the chest or the belly as you breathe in and out. Just finding the place to anchor your attention to, letting the breath just be, noticing when your attention wanders to thought, as it will over and over again. Once you notice what's captured your attention, gently shift back, find the rhythm of the breath. Now imagine you could drop your breath into the space of your heart as if you could breathe in and out the center of your chest. And with this focus on the area of the heart, allowing yourself to feel your love, the love you have for yourself, for someone you know, the love of an animal, the love of nature, or any wonderful experience that you're fond of, whatever comes to mind and heart. As you do, allow your heart to open and feel your love, gratitude, and appreciation. As you do, see if you can sense the energy in this area of your chest, the energy in your heart expand and become more alive and tangible. Maybe asking yourself today, is there a story I am holding on to that I need to let go of? What messages are no longer serving me? Which thoughts are not mine? And we'll sit as we ask this question of our heart, of our highest selves, so that we can open up to truly loving ourselves as we are in this moment, letting go of the stories, letting go of the messages that no longer serve us. We'll sit mostly silent. I'll mind the time. You'll hear my voice now and again and a chime at the end. Just keep your eyes closed. I'll let you know your next steps. and noticing what may have come in words or an image and a feeling, thanking your heart, knowing you can always come back here to ask any question of your highest self. Taking a last heart breath here and letting your breath return now to its natural depth and rhythm. Don't worry if an answer didn't come. It may come tomorrow or later or the next day. The inquiry is always there for you, noticing what stories are no longer serving me. What am I holding on to that's preventing me from loving myself? Whose story is it? If it doesn't need to be mine, letting go. Letting your breath now return to its natural depth and rhythm, and we'll sit silent until we hear the sound of the chime. Sitting in stillness, eyes closed, listening to the sound of the chime. So important to come out of meditation slowly. It's the part most people rush through. You can begin to deepen the breath, bringing some small movements to the fingers, to the toes, slowly stretching whatever way feels good for you. And lastly, when you do feel ready, just gazing at the floor, letting in a little bit of light before coming back, or even leaving your eyes closed as I share my reading. Taking your time. This is such an important part of the practice. And today, my closing reading comes from Melody Beattie's book, Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. This one is called, Don't Let People Put Thoughts in Your Head. Respect the power of words and thoughts, both your own and others. Our ideas and inspirations sometimes come from other people, come from outside us. But if we're not careful, it's easy for others to put their ideas and intentions into our minds, to cast their spells on us. You may have heard, you aren't very creative. Your heart isn't open. You're really not that healthy. You need me to succeed. You don't deserve success. In fact, you don't deserve ... fill in the blank. How easy it is to be unaware of the process, to walk around with other people's words in our head, taking them as truth, taking them as our own, letting their ideas about us control our lives and our beliefs. We don't have to let others put their spell on us. We don't have to believe what they say. What are the words others have spoken to you? The spells they've cast on you and your life? What phrases are echoing in your mind, and who do they belong to? Listen to what you hear, and if they are not yours, get them out. Words are powerful. Don't let other people put them in your head, and choose carefully the words you speak to them. So, wouldn't it be amazing if today were the day that you said, why not love myself? What is holding me back? That's really the gift of this inquiry, to start to notice which of those thoughts are really ours and which are just these old tapes and old stories that we've told ourselves over and over again that don't allow us to wake up totally in love with ourselves. It may be hard work, but it's worth it. So I wish for you on this Valentine's Day that you begin to love and appreciate who you really are right here, right now, in this moment. Thank you for practicing with me. I also want to mention that if you like my meditations, you can join my community. I have a subscription community. I'll put the information in the chat. You can join at mindfulnessmeetingplace.com. It's called Sit in Place. And if you use the code FEAST22, you'll save, oops, that was FEAST22. You can save 50% off the monthly fee of $35. And I also teach privately. So if that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to me as well. Thanks so much for being here.